Hello, welcome to the Bearded Horror Review. My name is Dan, aka The Boogeyman, and on this show, I will watch a horror movie, either a classic or a new release, talk about some good points, talk about some bad points, if there are any of either, give it a rating out of 10, if I remember to do it, and let you know if I think the film is worth a watch or not, in my humble opinion. And the Warrens have returned for another Conjuring film. Conjuring Last Rites came out of yesterday at time of recording, and I went to see it yesterday, so let's talk about it.
Ed. There's an evil here. Something I've felt before.
For those of you who don't know or can't remember, The Conjuring is a film series based on true stories of real-life paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. They were prevalent in the 60s, 70s and 80s in America, where they claimed to investigate over 1,000 paranormal things. And these films are very loosely based on their exploits. I may do a video talking about the actual Warrens and what they were actually like, because there's some stuff in there. But hey, we're not talking about that today. Today we're talking about Conjuring Last Rites. Now this is supposed to be the fourth and final in the mainline series. I say mainline because there has been hella spin-offs. We've had 3 Annabelle films, we had 2 Nun films, and we had The Curse of La Llorona. I'm sorry if that was offensive. But yeah, so Conjuring Last Rites is set in the 80s.
The devil has come to Pennsylvania.
Of the Warrens' last story about a family that is being tormented by a demonic entity, and the Warrens are very hesitant to kind of go and help because they said they weren't going to do this anymore. Ed has a bad heart and their daughter is all grown up, and she also seems to have the same capabilities as Lorraine Warren, and Lorraine doesn't want her daughter going through that. And that's about 20-30% of the film, and the rest of it is a family drama. So before I carry on, I always like to say that this is a new film. I'm going to do as many non-spoilers as possible, but for me to be able to talk about it, I like to bring stuff up. So if you don't want to know anything about this film at all, minus spoiler warning, here it is. Let's go. So this film tries to kind of round off the mainline story of, Ed and Lorraine Warren. It starts with a flashback of them, one of their very first cases, and this first case ends up being also linked to their last case because of a spooky mirror. And if you've seen Oculus, you know that you don't want to fuck with spooky mirrors. Also, I'm about to go to the gym, so I've got my vest on. I'll try not to flash any of my nipples. But yeah, obviously this film is going to be exactly what we always get. A family either moves somewhere or something happens, and therefore spooky shenanigans take place, and Ed and Lorraine Warren have to investigate it. They deem it to be real, and they do things to try and stop it from happening. The difference in this one is it takes a long time to get to this point because it is about the family drama within Ed and Lorraine Warren and their daughter, whose character's name is...
It wasn't done with our family.
And her new boyfriend. And to be honest, most of this film is this family drama type film. It's not really The Conjuring 1 or The Conjuring 2. The family that are being haunted and tormented are very sporadically in the film. So it's about, 20-30% of the film. And for a 2-hour and 20-minute long film, which is way too long. This film is way too long. There's too little spooky shenanigans. It's mainly not spooky shenanigans. And the spooky shenanigans we see are nothing that we haven't seen before. Before we carry on, guys, if you can leave a like and subscribe, it's a little thing for you, but it really helps out the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And The Conjuring 2, which I like both of, to be honest, but especially The Conjuring 1 with James Wan. They really did kind of ramp up and show how to do these kind of haunting possession films very well. James Wan is an exceedingly good director, and along with Lee Winnell, who's usually his writing partner, they create great movies. And you can always tell when James Wan isn't that involved, because number 1 and 2 are really good. Annabelle 1 is terrible. Annabelle 2 is actually pretty good. Annabelle 3 Comes Home is bad. La Llorona is bad. The Nun 1 and 2 are not good. Don't argue. They can be fun, but we can have fun, but also acknowledge that they're not good. Conjuring 3 is the weakest out of the 4. This one, it is better directed, I will say that, but it's still not very good. It's just is what it is. You know what you're going to get. You're going to go see The Conjuring. You're going to go see people be really dramatic, and there's going to be some spooky shenanigans. Spooknanigans, if you will. Put that on a t-shirt. Spooknanigans. Copyright. Oh my god, look at these spooknanigans. Shenanispooks. Anyway, but the downside of this film is, like I said, it's 70% of it. It's this family drama talking about Ed's poor heart and, you know, that he can't do things. And the daughter having this relationship with this guy. And, you know, and the fact that Ed doesn't like that. The fact that, you know, it's their baby girl, and talking about their life as paranormal investigators and their relationship and what they want from the future and what they're scared of, which is great kind of drama to have, but this is a horror film that is mostly not horror. And this is the problem that they had with Insidious, the big red door to open the red door. It spends a lot of time, yes, humanizing our characters, but it takes too much time doing that. And you are there to be spooked. And if the spooks are just bang, loud noise, bang, 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 and then 40 minutes of, but Dad, I want to marry him. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, Dad, I love him. Bang, bang. It's not entertaining. It's quite dull. And I found it really dull. And the people I've spoken to who've seen it found it really dull. But obviously, I'm just going off what their opinion is on. I'm not speaking for them. They told me they found it dull. And that's the main problem with this film. It clearly doesn't have the budget anymore. They were like, let's wrap this up. We need to finish this now. And so you can see it. It's very light on the spooks because the spooks cost money, because they're using CGI and stuff like that. And like I said, the things that we see in this is nothing new. There's a bunch of Annabelle references. They shoehorn Annabelle in there. They had to.
I don't know how to protect you this time.
Judy. Her name is Judy. I remembered. I don't have to put it earlier in the video, and if I did anyway, well, there you go. And when I was making notes in the cinema, yes, I sit at the back with my phone on a very low light and I make notes as I watch the film. After about the first 30 minutes, I didn't need to make any more notes for about another 30. And then even then it was just, oh, it's escalating here. And I was only making notes about every 20 minutes or so at most, because nothing was really happening. I'd said everything I needed to say, and they said everything they needed to say in the first 30 to 40 minutes at most. And it's very predictable, and it's just, you know exactly what you're going to get, but it is just cheap jump scares. They've added more into it by bringing Judy, the daughter, into it, who's now, you know, a grown woman. But that's about it. I found it quite disappointing, and especially this, you know, this is the big send-off for such an Outbreak modern classic. Like, the first one is a modern classic. You can't ignore that, even if you don't like it that much. It is a modern classic. It was such a successful film, and it did that kind of film really well. And it added some new things in there, and it added some kind of more depth to these kind of haunting films. And I think it's a shame that they kind of just ending it there. And it tried to do some nostalgia and, you know, like real life stuff, like showing here's what the Warrens, here's the Warrens, and here's what happened with the Warrens in real life. But yeah, it just was a bit dull. And the one thing I would say for it, you know, the directing was quite good. There was some very interesting shots and some very kind of inventive things to make it visually interesting in moments. But then the lighting was bad a lot, so it was dark, and there's no consequences to it at all. Because like every single other Conjuring film, it doesn't really seem to have casualties as such. So yeah, I will mention one thing. A dog gets injured in this film. So if you don't want to see a dog get injured, there you go. There's my one spoiler for you that I will really go in on. I'm not going to warn you. There's a dog in this and it gets injured. Didn't like that. But yeah, that's the Conjuring Last Rites. I wish I could be more energetic and like kind of talk about it. Like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't incredible. It wasn't something to really write home about. So it's just for me personally, it was a 4 out of 10. You know, it just was what it was. Unfortunately, it wasn't egregious or anything. It was just the same thing that we always get. It was just a bit bland, and it was too long. It needed editing down, and it needed this subplot of the daughter and her boyfriend kind of thing that was really dragged out, that needed to be cut down or removed. Because it didn't really do much to humanize or add drama. It just added tedium. But yeah, if you've seen it, what do you guys think? Do you like the Conjuring series as a whole, including all 4 billion films that are in the franchise? Let me know down in the comments below. Have you watched my other reviews on The Nun 2? Do you want to see me do reviews of the other films? Let me know, and I'll do some videos on them, some retrospectives. I might even do a retrospective on the first Conjuring film. Don't forget to follow me on here, like and subscribe. Go follow me on social media, Instagram and TikTok, and I even have a Patreon if you want to support the channel even further. It's $2 a month, and it's going to help me to keep everything going, and you get extra content over there. And that's all from me, guys. Until the next one, happy watching.